That's true. We hate this because you're going to win this so hands down or legs down or whatever it is.
No. We'll see. Money on me. Also this morning, we have a medical mystery to tell you about.
Thousands of people suffering from symptoms that are very bizarre. The nation's top doctors have been stumped, but they have agreed now to look into it. It is the hunt for the reason behind a new disease. What's going on? That's coming up, too.
But first in this half hour, to the slumping jobs market. As we mentioned, the Federal Reserve Chairman will be testifying before a congressional committee later today, giving his recommendations to help revive the economy. But it's too late for workers from Macy's to Citibank, quarries in Vermont to schools in Massachusetts. Employees there laid off last week. Could your job now be at risk? It's a question on the minds of countless Americans this morning.
It's the working class that are suffering the most, the middle class that is suffering the most, because you're stretched. You know, every dime of income is to either pay a bill or just to keep a roof, and food and gas prices are outrageous as usual.
People out of work, prices going up. You're working harder to make the same dollars.
We don't eat it out as much probably because we're trying to put, more back toward gas money and things like that.
A lot of people have lost jobs and been pushed into careers where they're making even less money. I think it's a really, really scary time. I think that we are only at the precipice of what is going to be a very severe decline.
So what can you do if you're worried the slowing economy could affect your job? Joining us live now is GMA workplace contributor and CEO of Women for Hire, Tori Johnson. Tori, thank you so much. You look at Citigroup, 20,000 alone could be laid off there. So it's legitimate that people are concerned about their jobs. Is there anything they can do if they're worried?
Sure, there's a lot of things that you can do. First, sometimes the reality is you can't recession-proof a specific job, but you can definitely recession-proof your career. So if you were a mortgage lender at a very troubled bank, it's very likely that that job can't be salvaged right now, but your entire career is not in the gutter. It's a time that all of us right now should be taking an assessment and, in a sense, creating a career safety net.
And so what do you do first if you're looking around and you're seeing that your company is in the headlines a lot and you know that's in financial trouble?
Definitely want to know your company's financial health. You can do this by paying attention to media reports, looking externally and seeing about the coverage about your company, the industry, the area in which you work. Also looking at internal cues. If, for example, there was a cancellation of the holiday party and now there are talks about cutting back on planned retreats or conferences, those are signs. So consider yourself warned. You don't want to panic, but you want to prepare.
And what can you do to solidify your job, where you are right now, and hold on to it?
That's what you want to first focus on, securing your current position. And there are a few things that you can do. First is, in a sense, going where the money is. Sometimes the first positions that are to be cut, the ones that are most vulnerable, the ones that cost money instead of making money. Things like administrative positions, HR, marketing, customer service, those types of things. So if you have the ability to move into a position in your company that actually makes money, consider looking at that internal transfer, because that potentially could be good for you. You also want to be vocal about your accomplishments. Right now, a lot of times people think there's trouble, I'm just going to bury my head, do my work, not make any waves. But burying your head and being quiet is not so great right now. Instead, you want to be vocal about your accomplishments. Let everybody know exactly what you're doing and how well you're doing it, so that everyone knows why there's a legitimate reason to keep you there. You should also really align yourself and get to know the bigwigs in your company or in your department. We all know those people. Those people can be really helpful at times when there's talk about which positions we should cut, and when somebody knows you and knows how hard you've been working, they're more likely to try to save that position.
So what do? You take all that into account and you have a reality check and you're like, oh boy, you know what? Chances are I'm going to lose my job. Are there places you should be looking? What do you do when the reality? You're going to get that pink slip.
Get resume ready right now. On the GMA website, we've got templates for a resume. You should start working on that resume this week. You should also be taking an assessment of, looking on the job boards, looking in the Sunday Help Wanted paper, getting a good sense of who's hiring, what's hot right now, in case it looks like you might need to look elsewhere. Networking right now, coming up with a list of 50 people who you haven't kept in contact with. It's only January 17th. You still have a good excuse to call up and say, Happy New Year. Make those calls before you actually need to make them.
And you hear 50, and that's doable. 50 people.
It is doable. People often say, I don't know 50 people, and they're dismissive of it. If you sit down with that sheet of paper, that legal pad, you can come up with 50, I assure you.
All right, Tori, thank you very much. And it helps if you're one of those 50 on the list.
Hey, so a lot of these viewers know where to find me.
That they do. They go to abcnews.com, and they can find, as you say, to get some help on their resumes and for more career advice from Tori. It is now 35 minutes after the hour. Let's go back outside of Sam with the weather.
Hey, good morning, Robin, and good morning, everyone. Our headline this morning is it's winter and it's about to get cold. I know, but there's a serious side to this about this cold air that comes in. It's going to be about 40 degrees colder behind the front than it is ahead of the front. So let's start with this morning, a picture from Chicagoland, where it's about 31 degrees this morning. You're generally expecting a light snow. You're going to get about an inch, in some cases maybe 2. But that cold blast in the next couple of days, by Saturday and Sunday, puts your temperatures below 0. So we start with where it is this morning. Today's high temperature in Fargo, 12 degrees. Williston, North Dakota, 22. Minneapolis, 15. And let's unlock this, as we're calling it, Siberian Express, a series of cold fronts that'll drop the deep freeze into the nation. This is the way it looks on Friday. Take a look at that cold air. Then look at Saturday as those temperatures push even farther to the south. Indianapolis is 18 degrees. Pittsburgh is 28 degrees. And you know those wind chills will be even colder. Then as we get into the weekend, we'll watch that Sunday push all the way into northern New England. Those temperatures will drop there. Here's a look at the nation this morning in case you're making your plans. Those winds are still strong on the west coast. Things are generally quiet, but we're getting ready for that big east coast system to leave a little freezing rain and ice in the Carolinas and all the way up through Pennsylvania. A little light snow. That's the weather around the nation. Here's what you can expect this morning.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Mike Nico. Mild with plenty of sunshine today. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. A quiet weather pattern through Saturday, and then a chance of rain and snow showers Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Have a great day.
That weather was brought to you by Progressive Auto Insurance. Robin.
Sam, do you want to come inside? Do you want to come inside,
Yes,
Sam?
Robin, please.
All right, we're going to let you come inside. We appreciate it. Coming up next, medical mystery, the bizarre illness that has even some in the medical community stumped, like the CDC.
Welcome to Progressive.com. Did you find